Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on the ample benefits appertaining to discovering market gaps. So how can it be deemed beneficent to discover market gaps? Without further ado, without further delay, allow me to demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. By discovering market gaps, it presents an opportunity to potentially generate extreme wealth. Discovering market gaps can redound to your advantage. It can allow you to attain first mover advantage in an untapped market if you decide to capitalize on filling that market gap. It is risky. It does bear high research and development costs, in addition to exorbitant production costs and lofty marketing costs if you're attempting to serve a target market subsumed under an untapped market. However, the payoff can be enormous if there is substantial pent-up customer demand for your products that you furnish to customers, a part of the untapped market. So, by discovering market gaps, it can give you the impetus to elicit new markets that you bring to fruition. It could help you to attain the competitive advantage, the potent competitive advantage of first mover if you are the first company to enter into an untapped market. And if there is more pent-up customer demand for your innovative, robust, meritorious, worthwhile, extraordinary, stellar, state-of-the-art products that you furnish to customers subsumed under this untapped market, then it can allow you to attain substantial brand recognition, foster strong brand loyalty, attain robust brand equity. And it could also allow you to generate high sales volume, high sales revenue, and high profits. It can be lucrative to dominate an untapped market, especially if you're the only competitor in this untapped market. And especially if the market is growing and is becoming all the more sizable and all the more massive over time. So when you discover market gaps, it provides you with opportunities for generating wealth. It provides you with opportunities for revenue diversification. It can allow you to generate multiple revenue streams if you capitalize on entering into multiple untapped markets in order to fill multiple marketing gaps. And that renders you all the more resilient, because if there is a downturn in one market that you're competing in, that will not necessarily render your company unprofitable nor defunct if you have a multitude of revenue streams by competing in a multitude of untapped markets simultaneously. When you discover market gaps and when you capitalize on filling those market gaps, there's not only the latent potential to generate extreme wealth, but it can also be a catalyst for accelerating your brand growth. If you have profound success by servicing customers subsumed under these untapped markets. Of course, there's no guarantee. It can yield enormous research and development costs, substantial production costs, and exorbitant marketing costs to service customers subsumed under these untapped markets. However, if there is far more demand for your products and services in these untapped markets than you initially extrapolated, than you initially forecasted, then the payoff can be enormous, especially if these markets are slated to grow over time, and especially if you have become the dominant market competitor in these untapped markets. So when you discover market gaps and when you capitalize on filling these market gaps, it can just redound to your advantage tremendously, especially if it allows you to attain the competitive advantage of first mover advantage in a multitude of untapped markets, and especially if it culminates in you having a myriad of revenue streams by simultaneously competing in a multitude of untapped markets as you make a valiant, earnest, noble attempt to fill multiple market gaps simultaneously. So the benefits can be profound, extensive, and enticing, to say the least, if you discover market gaps and you capitalize on filling those market gaps. But even if you do not capitalize on filling those market gaps, it could still present you with opportunities for generating revenue in the pending future if you decide to capitalize on filling those market gaps. Of course, there's no guarantee that filling those market gaps will yield a positive return on investment, but it may be a warranted, vindicated, worthwhile, merited pursuit if you believe that there is enough pent-up customer demand for your products and services, even if these untapped markets lack historical sales data since they've never been entered into before. So, I hope that you deem this video to be insightful and enthralling. Discovering market gaps can be a precursor for generating extreme wealth if you are able to successfully fill these market gaps in a profitable, lucrative way. Once again, I hope that you deemed this video to be mesmerizing, captivating, riveting, engrossing, and of course, informative. Have a blissful day. Goodbye.